Well, this was a real surprise, a 35mm f1.4 full-frame lens from Nikon, because the general expectation was that Nikon would be announcing a 35mm f1.2 lens, right? That's what we were seeing in the outline that was the last on the roadmap. So that's led to widespread gobsmackery, if I can coin that word. Is it a bad thing? Let's take a look. Hi, Ray here, with a brief look at this new lens release from Nikon. I was as surprised as anyone when I got wind of the news. Actually, we were driving back from a long and late evening shoot in the city after picking up my Z6 III when my wife, Amanda, the queen of B-roll, get it? Queen? B-roll? Sorry, I blame my father for that. He was the king of bad puns. Anyway, Amanda noticed on my phone the release of a review by my friend down under, Matt Irwin. So I pulled over at a beach as the sun was setting here on the west coast of Canada and watched the first part of the review. f1.4? Wow! Who'da thunk it? As we say here in the Great White North. So, first thing I asked, how much? $599 US? Well, now I can relax and not worry about how to scrape up another $3,000. What I figured a f1.2 would cost, especially in light of just dropping nearly $4,000 Canadian with tax on the Z6 III. So where does this lens sit in the Z-mount lineup? Now totaling 45, 23 primes, 19 zooms, and including the teleconverters and adapters. Well, this is not an S lens, meaning it's not part of the elite group of NIKKORs that get the S imprimatur, the original 35mm f1.8 being in that category. So let's compare. The previous f1.8 boasts a premium build, quote-unquote, as Nikon says, extensively sealed against dust and moisture, especially around all moving parts of the barrel. I can attest, with my earliest S-line lenses past 5 years of use here on the wet coast, they're durable. I'm not suggesting this new 1.4 is missing weather sealing. Nikon says of this lens that it's durable, designed carefully considering dust and drip resistant performance. Thorough dust and drip resistance is not guaranteed in all situations. Note the asterisks. The rest of the build, and I've consulted with my aforementioned friend on this, looks good. It's composite, which we've seen in other cameras and lenses recently, so no reason to doubt its robustness, and we get a solid metal mount. That's a step up from, say, the 28 and 40mm compact primes. Not that I've had any problems with my 40mm f2, but there's something about a metal lens mount that we have more confidence in, I think it's safe to say. But it's the optics that count, right? We've got 11 lens elements in 9 groups, 9 diaphragm blades, and from what I've seen, the bokeh is delicious. Better by how much than the 1.8? Well, I'll hold off on making that comparison till I've seen more examples. The aperture range, f1.4 of course to f16. What this lens lacks compared to the 1.8S are those premium coatings. Nano crystal coat, the anti-reflective coating developed by Nikon that virtually eliminates internal lens element reflections across a wide range of wavelengths. Nano crystal coat, which solves ghost effects caused by red light and effectively reduces ghost and flare caused by light entering the lens diagonally. And super integrated coating. That's Nikon's term for its multi-layer coating of the optical elements in NIKKOR lenses. Nor do we get, comparing the specs, ED. That's extra low dispersion glass that's used for correction of chromatic aberrations. But you have to pay a $250 premium for those. Mind you, the 1.8 is on sale right now for $696.95. Affiliate link in description. This 1.4 has a 62mm filter thread, same as its S-line predecessor. Minimum focus distance, 27 centimeters, 10.6 inches. The 1.8, by comparison, is 9.84 inches, 25 centimeters. Approximate weight of this 1.4? Well, that research led to a bit of confusion because Nikon says 0.918 ounces, 415 grams, which my calculator says is 26 grams? Wow. Well, It isn't the first time there's been a typo on Nikon's website. The point is, it's 415 grams. I checked both Nikon Canada and the US site, but B&H pegs it at 0.9 pounds, 415 grams, or 14.6 ounces, while the 1.8 is 13.05 ounces, 370 grams. So, if my extensive research proves correct, we're not getting any weight saving despite the use of composites here. From what I've seen, admittedly, there's not a lot of examples out there, and I don't have the lens in hand, but from Nikon's examples and a few other sources, see Matt's work, the optics are in line with what we've seen, even in the cheaper Z-mount lenses from Nikon. I certainly have zero complaints about the 40mm f.2, for instance. I used it all day yesterday. Note, that lens does have the super integrated coating, but I'm confident that this 1.4 lens sits well above the old f-mount versions. I sold all my old 1.4s, traded them on Z-mounts actually. They were, shall we say, less than optimum wide open. So I think, at the price, this lens is going to be well received. This is an interesting move by Nikon, a smart move, I think. Again, Nikon has been listening to complaints, if you like, the call for 1.4 lenses. It's funny, I'm working on a video in which I complain about the complainers, those people who claimed the 1.8s weren't professional, in inverted commas, which is still a silly claim, as I'll explain in that video. But here we have an affordable f1.4. Is this the beginning of a line of 1.4s? Who knows? But maybe this release indicates there may be more to come. Otherwise, this 35 is going to feel a little bit like an odd duck. Well, I hope that's the case. Not that it feels like an odd duck, but that we get more. I might buy in myself. Mind you, it comes in here at $819 Canadian, less tax, so not right away. I have to pay off the Z6 III first. Well, I hope this was useful. If so, please give it the old thumbs up, and if this is your first visit to the channel, please do consider subscribing. In the meantime, take care, cheers, we'll see you later.